Hey guys, Dimension Jumper. Today I'll be doing my top 5 least favourite Mega-Evolved Pokemon. Now, Mega Evolution, I would say, is a pretty neat concept. It was introduced back in Pokemon X and Y, and it's basically just giving old Pokemon a revamp, I would say, and giving them new forms, sometimes a different typing, adding on to the Pokemon, either removing a type and adding on a type. For example, with Charizard, for its Mega X form, with its flying type being taken away and the Dragon type being added. And you've also got Pokemon that might have been added to specific typing, like, let's say, Megalopony, which it was given the fighting type, I believe. And yeah, and there are some really cool and interesting Mega Evolved Pokemon, but there are a lot of not so cool looking Mega Evolved Pokemon, and that's what this list is going to be about. So for number 5 is Mega Beedrill. Now, Mega Beedrill, it just looks like Beedrill, but with different appendages or parts of its body different. It looks interesting, but to me personally, I don't think Mega Beedrill is all that fun looking or interesting, though. Because I think when it comes to other Mega Evolved Pokemon, there are a lot more interesting and more intimidating looking Pokemon. And at least with some of them, they look slightly different to the previous form. For example, Mega Charizard Y, even though that has the same colours as normal Charizard, at least it looks slightly different from Charizard, and even though I do like Charizard X, it still looks a bit like Charizard. And yeah, I would say the Mega Beedrill is if it had been given some tweaks here and there, I would say it would have been a whole lot better. For number 4 is Mega Pidgeot. Now, the Pidgeot line is basically just with each evolved form, it's just a much larger bird. So you've got Pidgey, which is basically a bird. Then you've got Pidgeotto, which is basically a big bird. Then you've got Pidgeot, which is basically a larger bird. And then you've got Mega Pidgeot, which is basically just a larger bird than that, with some colour in parts of its body, and that's basically it. I would feel like that with Mega Pidgeot, they would have the design would have been a whole lot more cooler than just it's just a larger Pidgeot instead of just what we have. And I guess the colours that it has is quite cool and interesting, but it's just Pidgeot, but a lot larger. At least with some of the other Mega Evolved Pokemon, they at least have, as I said before with Mega Beedrill, at least with some of the other ones, they at least have a slightly different in design and stuff like that. At least they make it different. So yeah. For number 3 is Mega Latios and Latias. Now, I couldn't really put one of these Mega Evolved legendaries in this video without talking about the other, so I thought, why not put them in together? And that's because they are basically the same form, except one has, I think, red eyes and the other one has yellow eyes, and that's just it. They're just these purple versions of each other, and you can't really tell which is which unless you do the whole eye thing. And yeah, I think what would have been cool if they had the same designs but they switched color schemes, because that would have been cool. Because in terms of the coloring, you don't really see a lot of the Pokemon change color when they Mega Evolve. One of the only times that they do is from my experience is with Mega Charizard X, because he has all that blue flame and fire and stuff. That's I think one of the only Pokemon, when they do Mega Evolve, change colours. And with Mega Latias and Latios, they do change colours, but it's the same exact colour, which is purple. And I would feel like the cooler way, or if they had switched colours with each other. So like one was red and the other one was blue, that would have been a whole lot cooler, but they kept the same design, something like that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. It's just tweak it a bit and then it would have been a whole lot cooler. For number 2 is Mega Mewtwo X. Now, Mewtwo is the only Pokemon, out of two Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, the other being Charizard, and Mega Mewtwo X is just Mewtwo. It's like with Mega Pidgeot, where it's just a larger version of Pidgeot, but with different colours and stuff in parts of its body. With Mega Mewtwo X, it's just Mewtwo, but it's got the fighting ability, or the fighting type. And at least with Mega Mewtwo Y, its design is so much different, because it's got like the tail on the top of its head, it's got that little band thing, it's a whole lot smaller. At least with that, it's a whole lot different, and it feels unique and different and interesting looking. With Mewtwo X, it's just a larger Mewtwo, I believe, and it's just got the fighting type. And yeah, it's not really that interesting, I would say. If Mewtwo had just been given its Y form, that would have been cooler. But I feel like the developers wanted the game, both X and Y, to have at least another Pokemon to differentiate the Mega forms, in terms of, okay, there's this form and there's also this form. So I feel like it would have been a whole lot better for Mewtwo just to keep its Y form. So yeah. And for number 1 is Mega Kangaskhan. Now Kangaskhan, I would say it's an okay Pokemon, but its Mega form is just not that good, I would say, just because it's basically just Kangaskhan, but its child is out of its pouch, and it looks okay, I guess. But again, like with Mega Pidgeot and Mega Mewtwo X, there's nothing really different about them, except for like some, I think, spots or something around its shoulders, from what I remember. And yeah, if Mega Kangaskhan had been given a different typing, I think it does have a different typing, I'm not 100% sure, but if it just doesn't look interesting, I would say. It looks really bland for what it's supposed to be, and I'm not a really big fan. At least with Mega Latias and Latios, they look different enough, and they look cool, I guess. But with Mega Kangaskhan, I'm not a big fan, and it would have been cool if there was some polish to it or something like that. So yeah, so that's been my top 5 least favourite Mega Evolved Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.